The general must die. Prologue. The woman they feared. In the far-flung reaches of the Orion Arm, the Galactic Empire had learned one immutable truth about humanity. Do not let Helena Markov live. For 2 decades, General Markov had been the iron hammer of Earth's defense, a master of asymmetric warfare, orbital sieges, and psychological devastation. Aliens whispered her name like a curse. Where she walked, victory followed. Where she planned, empires fell. To the Empire, she was not a woman. She was a force of nature, a symbol of humanity's refusal to kneel. And that made her dangerous. Too dangerous to leave alive. 1. The invitation. The message came wrapped in imperial gold, an olive branch dipped in diplomacy and poison. General Markov, the Galactic High Council invites you to a peace summit on neutral grounds. Station Epsilon 9, under the shroud of Paradox Accord. No weapons, no tricks, just peace. Earth's president warned against it. The Terran Fleet Command urged caution. But Helena? She accepted without hesitation. I'd rather face 1,000 alien guns than let my grandchildren inherit this war, she said, eyes like frozen stone. She arrived with a minimal escort, unarmed, clad in ceremonial steel-gray armor, her medals stripped to a single blood-red ribbon. When she stepped onto the station's polished deck, even the Empire's finest guards stepped aside. The moment she entered the central chamber, the doors sealed. That was the last anyone saw of General Helena Markov. 2. Operation Blackthorn. The explosion could be seen from a nearby planet. A quantum implosion warhead, the kind banned in 6 sectors, ripped Station Epsilon 9 from existence. No debris, no survivors. Just a flicker of light, swallowed by vacuum. The Empire released a cold, polished statement. Tragically, peace talks were compromised by a terrorist attack. We mourn the loss of General Markov. But no one believed that, and no one cared about belief. The Empire celebrated in silence. Behind closed doors, their admirals toasted. The Witch of Soul is dead, one whispered. The last human nightmare is over. What they didn't know was that Helena Markov had prepared for her death better than they had prepared for her life. 3. Echoes of a Witch. On the dark side of Earth's moon, deep inside a vault sealed since the last Titan War, a sensor tripped. A heartbeat. Data streamed into dormant systems. A red light blinked once, then again, then never stopped. Project BabaYaga activated. Artificial intelligence stirred. In a black chamber filled with preserved cells, psychotronic memory webs, and illegal resurrection tech, the last clone of Helena Markov began to awaken. But it was more than cloning. This was contingency. Revenge encrypted in biology. Her memories weren't uploaded. They were burned in. Her body wasn't rebuilt. It was reforged. The Empire hadn't just killed a general. They triggered a failsafe written by the darkest minds of Earth's black science. The one humans had vowed never to unleash. 4. Return in silence. A scavenger ship drifted near the edge of dead space. Its crew detected something, an anomalous beacon pulsing in ancient Russian. They traced it to a derelict Terran escape pod, floating, lifeless. They brought it aboard. One by one, they died. The station's logs captured only fragments. Blurred footage of a tall woman walking barefoot through the blood-slick halls, eyes glowing faintly red, muttering phrases in a dead dialect. One survivor screamed into comms before his feed was cut. She's not human. She's not dead. She's BabaYaga. She came back. When Empire agents arrived, they found the ship abandoned, engines fused, hull etched with a single phrase in Terran Cyrillic. Death is a door. You just opened it. 5. Whispers in the dark. High Admiral Vorner of the Galactic Empire reviewed the footage with trembling claws. The image of Helena Markov walking through fire, untouched, played on loop. Impossible, he hissed. We vaporized her. Sir, his aide stammered. Our analysts believe this is a psychological warfare construct. A revenge weapon. Vorner turned, eyes haunted. No, this is something older. Across the Empire, high command structures received encoded threats, coordinates with no explanation. When scout fleets visited those locations, they disappeared. Outposts went dark. Entire moons were found sterilized, walls painted with blood, and on every site, one glyph remained, scratched, burned, or seared into metal. 6. The Iron Forest. Somewhere beyond mapped space, in a region of warped physics, Helena stood atop a fortress of black spires. She was taller now, her bones reinforced with nanocarbon, her mind wired into ancient Terran AI once deemed too unstable. Her skin bore battle sigils once used by pre-collapse Slavic war mages. She remembered her death. She remembered every mocking laugh, every cheer from alien lips. And she remembered the sound of her own bones breaking before darkness took her. She would not forgive. This wasn't war. This was reckoning. Burn the roots, she whispered. Uproot the tree. Make them taste iron and blood. Her voice echoed through the dead systems like wind through a graveyard. 7. First Blood. The Empire's dreadnought Sovereign Lance was first, a vessel the size of a small city, armed with planet-killing weapons. It vanished for 3 days. When it returned, it was adrift, crewless, and marked. Galactic Marines boarded and found horror. No bodies, just armor piled in grotesque shapes, like rituals. In the main bridge, the Admiral's severed hand clutched a data drive. They played it. A cold voice, unmistakable, spoke over static. You killed the General. You woke the witch. Run. As the last word ended, the ship's engines ignited on their own. They hurled the Sovereign Lance into the nearest sun. 8. Silence before storm. Panic erupted. Some empires closed borders. Others readied fleets. The council debated retaliatory action, but who would they fight? The woman was dead, and yet she moved like a ghost. A myth weaponized, an old tale made real. In the Empire's inner chambers, a panicked senator whispered, "She's not human anymore." Another replied, "She never was." Earth remained silent. No ships moved. No declarations came. Only a single message from a Terran diplomatic outpost was received by the Empire. You should not have killed her. You do not kill a storm. You survive it, if you're lucky. 9. Closing. In a forgotten bunker on a long-dead moon, Helena stood before a wall of names. Her soldiers, her children, her people, their killers would pay. She turned to the AI at her side. Its voice was smooth, feminine, cold. Targets. Helena cracked her knuckles. All of them. She stepped forward into the dark, cape trailing like smoke. The BabaYaga had returned, and the galaxy would bleed. They called her BabaYaga. 1. The legend walks again. They called her myth. They called her weapon. They called her BabaYaga. In Terran folklore, BabaYaga was a witch of the forest, a skull-faced terror who flew in an iron mortar, grinding bones and weaving spells. She could bless or curse, raise you from the dead, or feed you to wolves. But that was ancient Earth. Fairy tales. Until now. Now, across the galaxy, whispers spread like wildfire through barracks, ports, and throne rooms. She's back. The General walks. But she's something else now. No one saw her coming, but everyone saw the aftermath. 2. Terror Protocol. The Galactic Empire convened an emergency session. Security screens flickered, delegates bickering in 20 languages. Admiral Vorner stood at the center, aged a decade in a week. Gentle beings, he growled. This is no longer psychological warfare. This is systemic deconstruction. We are not at war with humanity. We are at war with a ghost. A junior strategist hesitated. Then we counter with shadows. They tried. Fleet after fleet disappeared in sectors marked only by her glyph. An orbital academy detonated from within. Its AI turned against it. Entire supply routes vanished. Their ships found months later, converted into floating ossuaries. No declarations. No claims. Just one repeating signal. I remember. They no longer saw her face. They heard her in dreams. The Empire turned to old human prisoners of war, hoping for insight. One veteran laughed, hollow-eyed, and whispered, "You woke BabaYaga. You don't fight her. You pray she never notices you." 3. The Dream Witch. The dreams began shortly after the third dreadnought went dark. Empire soldiers across multiple planets reported identical visions. A black forest of twisted iron trees. A cottage on mechanical chicken legs. A woman sitting in the dark, stirring a pot that hissed with screams. Then her voice, "Come inside, child. Let me tell you a story." Psych warfare divisions confirmed it was no hallucination. This was targeted, weaponized dream infiltration. "She's rewriting their REM states," one analyst muttered, "turning sleep into a battlefield." Morale shattered. Troops deserted. Officers committed suicide. Recruitment collapsed. Across the stars, one phrase appeared in graffiti, in blood, in broken screens. "The BabaYaga sees." 4. Ghost Army. She never worked alone. Soon, she began to raise others. Old War veteran clones, half-dead Terran AI, forgotten soldier ghosts. Helena reactivated and rebuilt them. Each resurrected warrior bore one mark, a burned-in code across their helmet. WIG, Witches You Gave. An old joke from Earth's Covert Ops Division. Now, a death sentence. One such unit, designated Iron Coven, descended on the imperial world of the Los Prime, a planet shielded by 15 defense satellites. They arrived during a storm. The satellites turned off. The Los Prime went dark for 6 hours. When light returned, the capital was ash, the Emperor's palace a crater. No survivors. On the crater's edge, carved by hand into metal. You crowned yourself gods. You forgot witches still roam. 5. Humanity Speaks. Finally, after weeks of silence, Earth transmitted a message. A single human diplomat appeared before the Galactic Senate via holo. He stood calm, black-suited, no guards, no entourage. "We advised peace," he said softly. "You killed our general. Then you laughed. She asked for mercy, for surrender. You mocked her. You broke her bones. You shattered her skull." He leaned forward, voice ice-cold. "And you taught her how to never die again. Now you face not Earth, but consequence. Not war, but memory." Then the transmission cut. The Empire sat in silence. No threats. No armies. Just remembrance sharpened into rage. 6. The Final Siege. The capital of the Galactic Empire, Solkara Prime, was a fortress beyond imagining. Thick with fleets, planetary shields, command towers, sky cannons. Billions lived in its hive cities. Then one day their orbital sensors picked up a signal. A single ship, small, unarmed, but inside walked death. Helena Markov, BabaYaga, stepped onto the skybridge of the Empire's heart. Her cloak was stitched from the flags of fallen enemy fleets. Her hands bore no weapons, only chains. At the end of those chains, the limp bodies of 4 Imperial admirals, executed but still twitching, revived just enough to suffer. The guards fired. Nothing touched her. Surveillance feeds melted. EMPs failed. Codes corrupted. She walked into the Central Council Hall and stopped. A projection of the past played above her. Her own execution on Epsilon 9. Over and over. Then, over the Council's main broadcast, she spoke. "You broke the forest and salted the ground. You laughed at the roots as they burned. Now the trees return, and they carry fire." She pressed her palm to the central nexus. Every planetary system under Empire control blinked out. Screens went dead. AI cores collapsed. The Empire ceased to function. 7. Aftermath. She didn't stay. She vanished as quickly as she came, leaving behind ashes, echoes, and something far more terrifying. Hope. Across oppressed colonies, the symbol of BabaYaga appeared on banners. Resistance movements adopted her as patron. Mothers told children bedtime tales of the witch general who couldn't die, who protected the broken and punished the arrogant. The Galactic Empire tried to rebuild, but no one forgot. Each time a senator ordered vengeance, a message appeared on their desk. "I'm still watching." Each time a general rallied new fleets, his family vanished. They stopped trying. 8. What remains? In a forgotten system beyond charted space, there is a garden of rusted ships and shattered helmets. At its center stands a cabin, impossibly ancient, standing on metallic chicken legs. Inside, Helena Markov sips black tea, silent. She has not spoken in years. She does not need to. The galaxy speaks her name for her. Children leave tokens at altars shaped like her helm. Refugees whisper thanks into starlight. She does not answer, not unless she must, because sometimes a cry in the dark reaches her ears, a cry from a world being crushed. And sometimes, just sometimes, the BabaYaga moves again. Final lines. They thought they could erase her. They thought death was the end. But you do not kill a storm. You endure it, if you're lucky. And if you aren't, you learn the name BabaYaga.